remodel room welcomes all. Thanks for stopping by, answering the call. Ups and downs are normal for some of us. Many days I beg to get off this life bus. Neon lights flicker, no shadow on the wall. Dreams on the ceiling, we run and then we fall. Sharing stories over paper cups. Wheels keep turning but never enough. Life's a ride on a rickety old track. Holding on tight, never looking back. In the rubber remodel room we couldn't fight. Laugh, cry, love in this crazy ride.
Well, hello. Good evening, good night, good midnight, good, hey, we're all here. Oh, I got some wild hair today. Yeah, it's one of those days. So anyways, welcome in. Hello, I'm Sheila. It's Rubber Remodel Room, where we laugh, we cry, who knows, whatever the night throws at us. Tonight we are going to go over Sophia Franklin. She is a missing 16-year-old pregnant teenager out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. So, to get us started, let's pop that up on the screen. Okay, let's take Meat off for a minute. Say goodbye, Meat. We'll catch you in a little bit. He's over here staring at me to my left, but hey. Okay, so this is Sophia Franklin. That's a search. I thought it would zoom in a little bit. I don't know how to make it zoom in anymore. I'm not all that swifty cool with all my buttons yet. But this is Sophia Franklin. This is on the Missing Exploited Children website. This is an Amber Alert. Missing since February 2nd, 2025, out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. She is a 16-year-old female. She is white with brown hair, blue eyes. She's 5'9", about 186 pounds. And description also says she's 3 months pregnant. And this is where it gets a little touchy emotional for me, and I don't like the topic, but we're going to discuss it because it needs to be talked about. He is a 40-year-old man who there was a restraining order or a protective order or something from him to keep him a stay away order or something. We'll go over it. Everything I've pulled everything up to give us a big layout of this case and put the news out about this precious little girl. The vehicle information is a Buick LaCrosse. It's a 2014 black. Originally, it had license plates on it that was a Pennsylvania license plate KGW 5186. They are saying now that there's a license plate on there that's an Arkansas license plate with the plate number being BBR20L. Okay, so here's an update on the Amber Alert. The vehicle has utilized various license plates. The vehicle was last seen on the morning of February 3rd, 2025 in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania license plate of KGW 5186. Update. License plate state changed from Arizona to Arkansas. From Arizona to Arkansas. So I don't know why they say that, but it had a Pennsylvania, so that didn't make sense right there. Okay, to Arkansas. Sophia Franklin was last seen at her residence at 9 p.m. on 2/2/25. She is believed to be with Gary F. Day. He was last seen at her residence on February 3rd, 2025 at 7:48 a.m. There is a no contact order for Gary and Sophia. Sophia is 3 months pregnant. And here is a picture of Gary Day. This man is a suspect. There is an arrest warrant out for him. I did find that information. So we do have that on him. He's a male, white, blonde hair, green eyes, 5'7", 165, and is known to be the father of the unborn child with Sophia. Again, it goes over the same thing. Vehicles utilize various license plates. Last seen on the morning of February 3rd. in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania license plate of KGW 5186. Update, license plate changed from Arizona to Arkansas. Sophia Franklin was last seen at her residence at 9 p.m. the night before, and then she's believed to be with him. Okay. So let's bring back up Sophia's beautiful picture. So let's find out a little bit more. This is the Amber Alert that was put out by, well, that didn't work for me. Okay, there we go. Put it in the chat. This is Amber Alert, arrest warrant filed in Arkansas for suspect on abduction. So let's watch this real quick.
Victoria, thank you. Right now, an active Amber Alert continues for a 16-year-old Sophia Franklin of Beaver Dam. The Dodge County District Attorney's Office filing charges of child abduction and child enticement against 40-year-old Gary Day.
Just a few hours ago in Day's home state of Arkansas, a new arrest warrant filed for breaking several bond conditions as part of a prior offense involving crimes against a child in 2019. Franklin is believed.
Okay, right there. See, I haven't watched this. I pulled up all the information. I put it together in an orderly fashion by dates and stuff of when it was put out. And I've not watched these. Now knowing that he's got a prior conviction. Already don't like it.
Believed to be 3 months pregnant with Day's child. In a first alert update, Samantha Cavalli takes us through the criminal complaint and has more from one national organization about the Amber Alert itself.
Beaver Dam's chief of police says since releasing the information about Gary Day possibly switching out his license plates, they've received numerous tips online and in person. He says his main priority is bringing Sophia home safely. Court documents obtained by Action 2 News say Sophia Franklin and Gary Day have a lengthy history together prior to the Amber Alert being sent out. It states Franklin and Day began communicating sometime in April of 2024. By late July, Day picked up Franklin, and by August 1st, the two were in Arkansas. For 6 months, Franklin's parents believed Sophia was living in the Beaver Dam area, only having contact with her via cell phone. In December, Arkansas police contacted her parents after it was reported Day was with her. Day is on felony probation for crimes against children in Arkansas. The documents filed today detail 4 bond conditions were broken.
Okay, I have to rewind that.
Amber Alert being sent out. News say Sophia Franklin and Gary Day have a lengthy history together prior to the Amber Alert being sent out. It states Franklin and Day began communicating sometime in April of 2024. By late July, Day picked up Franklin, and by August 1st, the two were in Arkansas. For 6 months, Franklin's parents believed Sophia was living in the Beaver Dam area, only having contact with her via cell phone. In December, Arkansas police contacted her parents after it was reported Day was with her. Day is on felony probation for crimes against children in Arkansas. The documents filed today detail 4 bond conditions were broken, triggering another arrest warrant in Arkansas. Franklin returned home only to be reported missing months later. Child advocate with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Callahan Walsh, says an Amber Alert activation takes into account several factors, including age, danger, and enough information provided. Walsh says anytime there is a medical need with a missing child, such as Franklin being pregnant, it is important to make sure they are found.
Now we're talking about 2 lives here.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Now that she's pregnant, you've got 2 lives, so that's going to make a difference. And it becomes necessary to find her. Wow, these poor parents.
The fact that she's pregnant, there could be complications caused by the abduction. And so law enforcement wants to make sure, and her family wants to make sure that she's found as soon as possible.
We spoke with 2 of Sophia's sisters this afternoon. While they say they could not comment on camera, they said that they are grateful for the community support during this time. Tonight at 6:30 p.m., there will be a prayer service held at Bible Baptist Church right here in Beaver Dam. Action 2 News will have a crew on scene and will bring the latest information tonight at 10. Reporting in Beaver Dam, Samantha Cavalli.
Okay, so that gave us a little bit of background. This says you had no right to take her. Let's see, we're going to share this tab instead. This, I found this article. It says, this is from Spectrum News 1. Let's see. Let's drop this down here. And thank you for all the hard work you do, allowing us to read this. It says, you had no right to take her. Sophia Franklin's mother speaks to daughter's alleged abductor. Now, says this was put out February 20th, which was 8 days ago. It's been nearly 3 weeks since the Amber Alert was activated for 16-year-old Sophia Franklin from Beaver Dam. Police believe she was with 40-year-old Gary Day. Sophia is about 3 months pregnant, and Day is believed to be the father of the unborn child. We know about the Amber Alert. Leah Franklin, Sophia's mother, said her daughter's absence has taken a toll on her father and 6 other brothers and sisters. Gary Day is facing 4 felony charges in Wisconsin, including abduction and child enticement. An Amber Alert is still active for Sophia in 3 states, Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Missouri. So let's listen to what Sophia's mother had to say.
We don't know where Sophia Franklin is, but police have identified who she's with. And Sophia's parents say their life has been a nightmare knowing their 16-year-old daughter is with 40-year-old Gary Day.
There is nothing in the world we want more than you home.
Leah Franklin is heartbroken because she hasn't heard from her daughter, Sophia Franklin, in weeks.
We all miss her a lot, and it's hard to think about other things. And it has been this whole time. It's been hard to think about what we have to do next.
Leah describes her daughter as an intelligent and talented teen.
She's extremely bright. You play a board game with her, you're going to lose type of thing. She's great at trumpet. She's funny and very insightful.
On February 3rd, an Amber Alert was issued for the missing and pregnant 16-year-old Beaver Dam girl. Police believe she's with 40-year-old Gary Day, the unborn.
I wanted to pause this so we can get a good look at this man, but it paused with a big old triangle on his face. Sorry about that.
Baby's father. And Leah says Sophia's absence is taking a toll on her father, Stephen.
It's hard to focus at work, and you just feel like you need to do something. So he's been working behind the scenes, handing out flyers and just driving around and trying to do those things that he can to help find Sophie.
There's now a big void in this family. Sophia is greatly missed by her 6 other brothers and sisters, and Leah says her biggest fear
that we never see her again. We've already done holidays missing her. It was hard.
Gary Day is facing 4 felony charges in Wisconsin, including abduction and child enticement. Leah has this message for Day.
She is loved and well cared for here. There is nothing you can offer her that we don't offer her tenfold. There's nothing for you in having her. She's our girl, and that will never change. And you had no right to take her.
To her bright-eyed, courageous child, Leah has these words for Sophia.
We miss you. We love you. And it doesn't matter what you've done, girl. You come home, be with us.
An Amber Alert is still active for Franklin in 3 states, Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Missouri. In Beaver Dam, Rhonda Fox, Spectrum News.
Wow. All right. Please excuse me. Y'all know that's part of my stream is a barking dog. Okay, I can only mute it so much with this loud mouth back here. Gotta love me. Hold up just a minute. I'm gonna get this one. Let's see. Stop. So the mom's gonna share a new photo. Okay, sorry about that. Not gonna leave me alone. Amber Alert extended to Missouri family of pregnant teen shares new photo. New details in Amber Alert search. So we're going to review that. We're going to let this play for a minute. I'm going to go put him outside. This is great information. This is great information. Oh, it's not playing over there. Hold up. It's not playing over there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, see?
Her arms, legs,
Let's
and
back this
even
up.
her face.
Let's refresh this. So it'll start over. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm still learning. Now I don't know how to make it rewind.
An Amber Alert for a pregnant
we go.
16-year-old Sophia Franklin.
Here we go.
Beaver
Here we
Dam
go.
that
Here we go.
spans
I'm
multiple
sorry.
states
I'm
Now has
sorry.
added another state to the investigation. It comes as Sophia's mother is releasing new details about her mannerisms in an effort to find her. In the first alert update, Samantha Cavalli joins us live in the Fox Valley newsroom with the latest details on that. Samantha.
Taking meat out distracted me. Sorry
Right,
about
Bill,
that.
just hours ago, the Missouri State Highway Patrol has activated the Amber Alert in the central part of the state. Based on that report, it's believed that the two were spotted in Missouri and may be heading to an unknown location down in Arkansas. Now, it's contained to 7 counties northwest of Jefferson City. In their release, the Missouri State Highway Patrol saying the vehicle was seen heading south and urged people not to approach and to call authorities immediately. Now, as we've reported, Sophia was last seen at her residence at 9 p.m. on February 2nd. She is believed to be with 40-year-old Gary Day, who was last seen at her home on February 3rd. Sophia is 3 months pregnant, and authorities say Day is known to be the father. Now, Sophia's mother sending out more information this afternoon, as well as new
This is good that
photos
she's given an
in hopes
update
that
on
it will
this.
help in the search for her daughter. Sophia's wearing glasses in this photo that was taken the night before February 2nd, so February 1st at dinner. Now, it does not look like she is pregnant right now. That's according to her mother. She has also been dealing with hives on her arms, legs, and even her face. Her eye makes an involuntary movement when she chews, and her mother says Sophia also struggles with morning sickness and is wearing a rose gold ring with a pink heart-shaped gem on her left hand. That information comes in addition.
Sorry about that. That's good to know. Sorry. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's some extra information that the mom laid out. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
To the original Amber Alert, stating Sophia is 5'9", about 186 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. The two are believed to be traveling in a 2014 black Buick LaCrosse. It's been seen with various license plates from Arkansas and Pennsylvania. If you have any information about this alert, you can contact the Beaver Dam Police Department at the number on your screen. That's 888-304-3936. The FBI is also involved in the search, saying in a statement today, quote, the FBI is assisting local law enforcement officials in the Beaver Dam investigation. Now, the FBI routinely offers assistance to our law enforcement partners to provide additional manpower and specialized resources if they become necessary, end quote. Now, criminal charges have been filed in Dodge County, Wisconsin, against Gary Day, 2 counts of child enticement and 2 counts of child abduction. There's
Okay, so see there, he has charges filed against him. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Also, a warrant out for his arrest in Independence County, Arkansas, for violating his parole in a child endangerment case dating back to 2019. Bill.
It's a typical procedure.
All righty. Okay. Now, this was put out February 19th. And this was put out by WMTV 15 News. So I'm going to drop that in the chat and tell them thank you so much for putting this out. This gives us great information. More information. Franklin family looks for answers after daughter's disappearance. This was published February 19th. And let's see what they have to say.
New here at 10, we're hearing from the family of Sophia Franklin for the first time since she went missing more than 2 weeks ago. Her mom, Leah Franklin, is worried for her daughter's safety. She says the 16-year-old made a habit out of contacting strangers online. That included having multiple burner phones. This prompted multiple arguments between the 16-year-old and her.
Okay, I didn't want to hear that. That was something I didn't want to know. Now I know. She had multiple burner phones. Okay, see, I didn't know that part. Girl, mama needs to be checking on your shit.
Her parents. Sophia then moved out in July. Leah says she and her husband felt giving her time away from them would eventually help bring her back home. She told her parents she was with a friend in Beaver Dam and continued to work at a McDonald's. In December, Leah received a phone call from police that Sophia was staying with 40-year-old Gary Day at his home in Arkansas.
We would specifically talk about scenarios like this to her when you're sitting down and saying, you can't do this. These are the things that happen when you do this stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, no, I would never. Well, I don't know what made her switch, what switched in her head to make her think this was a perfectly okay situation.
Sophia and Day are said to be traveling in a 2014 black Buick LaCrosse. You see it there. Leah Franklin is urging people to call police if they have any information.
It's a typical procedure.
All righty. So let's see. I have one more little video, and this is from Law and Crime, and I think Law and Crime pretty much sums everything up and puts everything in a pretty little nutshell for us. So let's see.
Named Sophia Franklin, a 16-year-old Wisconsin girl believed to be kidnapped by a 40-year-old man from Arkansas. But that's not all. Sophia apparently lived with this man for months last year and is even reportedly pregnant with his child. There's still an active Amber Alert in both Wisconsin and Arkansas, but the question remains, where is Sophia? Let's start at the very beginning. This is 16-year-old Sophia Franklin. Her parents describe her as smart, tenacious, hardworking, and generous. They say that Sophia enjoys music and sports. Overall, she just seems like a normal teen girl. But in April of 2024, that kind of changed. That's when Sophia began talking online to this guy. It's 40-year-old Gary Day of Cabot, Arkansas. Sophia isn't from Arkansas, though. At the time they started chatting, she lived with her family in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, which is a full 11-hour drive from where Gary Day was in Arkansas. According to a criminal complaint, Sophia says she was the one who reached out to Day and that he told her about his divorce, a custody battle, and the fact that he was 40 years old. But Sophia's parents now believe she was being groomed by Day, so much so that in July of 2024, she just didn't come home. There had been a few warning signs ahead of this, though. Her parents say that Sophia had snuck out of the house a few times and she was caught talking online. They were starting to get nervous about who she was chatting with there and on the phone. So much so that they even restricted who she could talk to, but it did not stop her from talking to Gary Day. The bizarre thing is that when she disappeared back in July, her parents didn't report her missing. According to court documents, her family thought that Sophia was staying with a friend and was still going to work in Wisconsin. And during the time she was gone, her parents talked to her too over the phone or text, that kind of thing, and it calmed their worries. Still, this part of the case is getting a lot of heat online. Here's what Sophia's mother, Leah Franklin, told TMJ4, quote, "We were in communication with her that entire time. She wasn't happy with us because we had tried to keep her safe, and she was really upset with us about that. We were trying to let her cool off. We were trying to keep communication lines open with her so that she would come home." But at the time, Sophia wasn't even in the state. She'd left to live in Arkansas with Gary Day, and that's where she stayed for literal months. Just a note here, Gary Day was on probation during this time for a child abuse case dating back to 2019. So he met up with Sophia in July, brought her back home to Arkansas, and in December, literally months later, her parents get this call from police in Arkansas who say, "Hey, we've got your daughter down here." And her parents are like, "What? We don't know anything about this." It's this time frame, though, that Sophia tells police she's the one who reached out to Day and she knew he was 40. It's also when she admitted to police that she's from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and said she would rather be with Gary Day than her own family there. Sophia's mother told local Wisconsin TV stations this is when her daughter confessed that she was pregnant, and investigators believe Gary Day is the father of her unborn child. According to court docs from around that time, Sophia told investigators she wasn't physical with Gary Day until they arrived in Arkansas because, quote, "they knew it was illegal in Wisconsin and Illinois." After all of this, Sophia was brought back to Wisconsin in December, and there was a no contact order placed between her and Gary Day. But that didn't quite seem to stop them from talking. On January 31st, her parents say they caught Sophia speaking with Gary Day. All of that brings us to February 2nd, when Sophia was last seen in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Her mom says Sophia wasn't feeling very well that day, so she left her alone in her room to kind of rest. When she went to check on Sophia the following day, she was gone. Security camera video from the family's doorbell camera shows a person who appears to be Gary Day walking through their yard right around the time that Sophia went missing. Her parents reported this to police right away, and Amber Alerts were put out in Wisconsin, Missouri, and Arkansas. And at the time of this recording, they're all still in effect. Right away, investigators released some photos of this Buick LaCrosse with Arkansas plates reading BBR20L. This is believed to be Day's vehicle. Sophia's sister saw it parked near the family home at about 5:20 a.m. on February 3rd. That same vehicle was caught on Wisconsin Department of Transportation cameras just before 8 a.m. the same day. This time it was near Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, about 30 minutes south of Beaver Dam. Investigators believe Day and Sophia headed south and that he changed his license plates on the vehicle at least once. Investigators say he changed the original Arkansas plates to ones out of Pennsylvania that read KGW 5186. Gary Day now faces 4 charges out of Wisconsin, 2 of child enticement and
We're going to go over some of his charges too before the end of the stream. I do have where what happened to him, why he has these charges.
2 more of abduction of a child. There's also a warrant out for his arrest in Arkansas for violating parole. Now, the Beaver Dam Police Department has received tips from across the nation in Sophia's case, and they've even started to involve the FBI. Here's a statement from them, quote, "The FBI is assisting local law enforcement officials in the Beaver Dam investigation. The FBI routinely offers assistance to our law enforcement partners to provide additional manpower and specialized resources if they become necessary." According to local TV station WBAY, the U.S. Marshals may soon join that search for Sophia as well. WBAY is the outlet that also reported a few more key facts about Sophia straight from her mother. Here they are. Sophia wears glasses. She also usually wears a rose gold ring with a pink heart-shaped gem on her left hand. According to her mother, Sophia doesn't look pregnant, but she has been dealing with morning sickness. Sophia's family say they haven't heard from her at all since she went missing in early February. Hey, by the way, I know we have a lot of sponsors on Law and Crime, and we appreciate intricacies. So for that, I'm going to bring on our expert guest today. That's retired Commander Will Spilar. Will, thank you for coming on. And I wanted to start at the very beginning of this case. Back in April of last year, when this young woman, 16 years old, starts chatting online with a 40-year-old man. Right away.
That should have been red flags off the top. She was chatting online. I'll turn my cam on for a little bit. I was sitting here eating ice, so sorry about that. But yeah, the fact that she's online talking to a 40-year-old man and she's only 16, man, there's problems right there already. There's already problems right there. I already see it happen. Yeah, I got wild hair tonight and everything. Yep, this is me tonight. Anyways, carry on.
My head
lady.
is thinking grooming. What are your
Grooming,
thoughts?
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The internet, the grooming that goes on in the internet, I mean, we don't think we've even scratched the surface of how deep this goes. And it's terrifying, especially as a parent.
According to court documents, we'll get down to this, like why she talked to the police, but according to court documents, she did say she told him straight up she's 16. He said he was going through a divorce. He talked to her about how he was age 40, and yet she continued to be part of this relationship. Now, I remember being 16, and I personally would want to stay far away from a 40-year-old. So does that kind of show that she was, in fact, groomed?
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, a 40-year-old, like you said, when you're 16, a 40-year-old is like 70. You know, it's not like 40, like we know what 40 is. It's like
Right.
70 years old. That's like your grandfather.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, because when you're 16,
I have
mean,
to agree
20
with
is
them.
even kind of
I have
old.
to
They're
agree
an
with them.
older guy. So 40, it just sounds way off. What are the things that people should be looking for in this grooming situation? We'll get to the intricacies of Sophia's case in a minute, but what sort of things are they telling these young girls?
Oh, I mean, I'm lonely. I'm going through divorce, typical thing. I'm having problems with my kids. They try to play on their sympathy, especially young girls. Try to make them feel, oh, you're beautiful. I mean, I can't believe you're only 16, things like that. You know, like, you look much older. You could be mature. You're mature, all that stuff, especially if you're not getting anything like that at home. And I'm not saying that's the situation here, but it's just trying to build up their ego, build up their self-esteem, and then bring some sympathy into it from them.
I think that checks out, kind of playing on their insecurities, especially being a 16-year-old girl. We've since found out that Sophia had some arguments, I guess, with her family, which honestly is not out of the norm for a 16-year-old girl fighting with her siblings.
Right. At 16, you're always going to fight with your siblings. And yeah, that's going to be normal. But at 16, gosh, that's still so young. It's still so young. I can't get over it.
Or her parents, but sometimes, you know, kids just feel a bit misunderstood and things weren't great at home, at least according to her. So much so that one day she just doesn't come home. Her parents believe that she's staying on the other side of town with a friend. She's still going to work. They kind of keep in contact with her, but they believe she's in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And it turns out she's actually in Arkansas, and she's there for a matter of months. That is just wild to me, just to start, the fact that her family thought she was in Wisconsin and she's like 4 states away.
4 states away during the time when she should be in school, right? I mean, shouldn't somebody be checking out the school? And again, I don't want to cast any kind of judgment on the parents or how they, handle the situation, but across town doesn't seem like it's that hard to get to.
Exactly. I know the parents are getting a lot of flack in all of.
Yeah, he's kind of got a point there. Why wasn't she in school? Yeah, she should have been checked up about being in school.
This, and they've been very outspoken, want Sophia home, not blaming them at all, just reporting actually what happened. Something I thought about too is on our phones, I mean, I share my location with just my friends, so I can see where they are, they can see where I am. And I'm assuming a lot of parents like to do that with their children, to see like, oh yeah, you're at school, oh, you're at work, whatever it may be. Is that something that parents should be doing?
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. We want to give our kids a little space to grow up and do things, but you've got to monitor, especially now with the internet predators. And if you see your kid going into a room and closing the door and not letting you see, slamming down the top of the laptop real fast, you got to pay attention to that kind of stuff. And absolutely, if you're paying for that phone, I want to know where that phone is.
So it's simple, and people, you got to be on them. There's so many bad things out there you have to try to protect them from, including themselves sometimes.
It is a really fine line because you're right. They do deserve their privacy in a way as they're growing up and learning new things. But also, as you also said, there's so many bad things out there. And it kind of seems that's the route that Sophia was led down. She ended up in Arkansas for multiple months, July to December. As you said, she should have been in school during that time. There's not a lot that I know about what happened while they were in Arkansas, except that she apparently got pregnant. And this part, I have some questions about because in the state of Wisconsin, the age of consent is 18. However, in Arkansas, the age of consent is 16, and she's 16.
Hold up. See, I have a problem with that. 16 being the age of consent. At 16, there's no consent. You're not until you're 18. Even if it is Arkansas. Oh, no. Arkansas, do better.
So what does that mean?
Well, my question is, when did she turn 16? Before she was lured down to Arkansas? I mean, at some point she had to be 15. I mean, I don't know if she just turned 16 or she turned 16 just before April. I don't know what her birth date is, but she's missing from the state of Wisconsin. She's not a citizen of the state of Arkansas. Does that matter? I'm not sure. But still, 16 and 40, I don't care what the age of consent is. That's a little off.
Yeah, he's right on. He's on.
Absolutely agreed, a little off. And the fact that we now have a young girl who is pregnant and now missing. I mean, okay, so following the timeline we have, in December, her parents get this call from Arkansas police. Hey, we've got your daughter. They're like, what's going on? She's brought back to Wisconsin and there's a no contact order placed between her and Gary Day. However, her parents think in late January, they caught her chatting with him. How does this work? The no contact order, just that they can't, see each other in real life, but should it be no calls, no texts, no nothing?
Well, it's all specified in the order, and in a no contact order, all of that should be covered. No FaceTime, no texting, no telephone communication, and no personal communication. That should all be specified in the order.
It would be interesting to see what was in the order. And I'm kind of just inferring that it was no contact at.
Yeah, I would like to see what was in the order too. I mean, because that can go so many ways. Oh man, these poor parents.
At all. We don't want to see you texting. We don't want to see you FaceTiming, whatever it may be, especially from the concerned point of her parents. All right, we got to jump to February now, though. It's February 2nd, the last day that anyone has seen Sophia, and her mom says she wasn't feeling well. So on the morning of February 3rd, she leaves her in bed. We're going to let her rest. But when she goes to check up on her later, she is completely gone. And we now have surveillance video from their doorbell or Ring camera showing someone who looks eerily similar to Gary Day in the area in their yard. So we believe that these two are together. What are your thoughts? Do you think they were in communication and she snuck out to go meet with him? Did he come in and break in and take her out of the room? What is just your guess?
I think that she voluntarily went with him, and this is just my guess. I don't know for sure, but if I was the parents, and I'm sure they could see, if she's going to leave, she's not just going to leave with the clothes on her back. There's going to be evidence that she planned to leave.
Right. What did she leave with?
Items that she took with her.
Exactly.
That would
what
give you a
did she
clear
take with
understanding
her?
of the situation of how she left. He came there, they left, they got in the car. I know the car was parked on the street. I think some neighbors saw that his black Buick Lucerne was parked on the street. It sounds to me like it was planned by both of them.
The black Buick, I wanted to talk about that too, because that's one of the clues we have in this case. The vehicle that he was driving, originally it had Arkansas plates. So when an Amber Alert went out, we had those plate numbers. However, it was later seen with Pennsylvania plates. So it seems as though he switched out the plates in order to mask the identity of the vehicle. That was a couple weeks ago, though. So I'm wondering and just worried that perhaps he would change the plates again or even change the vehicle, because that's one of the main clues that we have.
Yes, and it's a black Buick Lucerne, which they only made about 5 million of. So it's not like it's a rare vehicle. And changing license plates is as easy as pulling into a rest area or a truck stop and grabbing a plate off a car. You can change them. You could have a trunk full of them. But my question is, where are they? What's financing all this? I mean, it's hard to get lost when you're broke.
I think that's a great question too, because he's obviously not going to be showing up for work, because if he was, we would know where he was. He's not texting or calling or anything, at least to our knowledge, because I can assume that investigators, I mean, the FBI is on this. If he has his phone with them, it's 3 weeks since she's gone missing. I'm assuming that they would want to target it and track it, right?
Absolutely. Phones, debit cards, any kind of spending. You got to get gas for your car, unless he's got a cache of dollars. He's got to be spending money somewhere. And if it's not cash, you can trace that, provided it's his card. Now, I know that his mother reported him missing down in Arkansas too. So you have to wonder, not for nothing, I'd be looking at her stuff too, to see if her cards are being used.
We're talking about so many different states here, because we have a girl from Wisconsin. He's from Arkansas. They had to drive through a couple of different states. So right now there are Amber Alerts in Wisconsin and Arkansas, I believe in some parts of Missouri too, the path that they would have driven through.
Oh, what just came to mind, because she's under 18. Would that be the S trafficking either? If she got pregnant by him, where did she get pregnant? Huh. Just a thought, thinking out loud.
Does that make things a bit more complicated in that there's so much area that they could be in? I mean, those are the states we know that for sure they were in, but he obviously doesn't have any qualms of crossing state borders. So they could go east, they could go west, they could go wherever. I mean, it just makes it so much bigger what we're dealing with.
Absolutely. And you also got to remember, this girl's pregnant. I mean, I think it's the early stages of pregnancy. She's having morning sickness. She was getting treatment while she was home. What if she gets sick? You got to get her treatment, or you should get her treatment. And again, once the money runs out, what are they going to do? It's just it's a tough situation. I'm really surprised that they haven't had more sightings, because there's cameras on every highway.
Yeah, I'm very
again,
surprised.
If you're looking for a black Buick Lucerne with, you don't know what kind of plate, it's hard to find them.
I think what's tricky too in all of this is, for instance, I'm just thinking the Luigi Mangione case. The reason that we found him at that McDonald's in Pennsylvania is because someone had seen his image nationally and was like, hey, that's the guy. So sometimes we do have civilians who help in this case. However, for the Sophia Franklin case specifically, the photos of her were kind of few and far between. We actually didn't even report on this when it first happened, because there were like 2 photos. A couple more have been released. However, they're not like great photos. I mean, they're her like with a music stand in front of her. I mean, things where her face is kind of obscured a bit. And also, she is just another girl. She's got brown hair. She looks relatively normal compared to other girls her age. Does that make things even more tricky? The fact that her image isn't wildly out there.
It's her image isn't out there wildly. I don't know if she had a driver's license. You could have gotten a school ID image. I didn't see any of that. And like you said, she looks like every girl. It's every girl with her dad, stopping to get something to eat is what it could look like. Very, very difficult situation all the way around, especially if they don't want to be found, if she's not being held against her will. It's going to be difficult. She's not going to make an outcry. Plus, it's not national news. The Mangione case was everywhere. It was international news. In this case, this is a little girl from a small town in Wisconsin and a guy from a small town in Arkansas. So, it's not like it's national news. It's a big deal to everybody involved, but it's not like it's national news. So it's not necessarily out there.
Exactly. I think that's why it's a bit of an uphill climb for the people who are searching for her. Just the fact that her image isn't everywhere, number one, as you said. And then number two, the fact that she wanted to go with him. So that's leading into my next question. In Wisconsin, he faces a couple of charges, child enticement and child abduction. However, she kind of consented to go with him, we at least believe, based on their past relationship. How does all of that work? I mean, she's still 16, she's still a minor, she's still underage. So even if she consented, it's still abduction, right?
Well, you hit it on the head when you said in Wisconsin, the legal age of consent is 18. So technically she cannot consent.
So she can't, there's no reason for her to leave the home with this man, even if she says, yes, I want to do it. It's still illegal. So that's kind of an interesting part of all of this. What is next, do you think, in the case? What's ahead? She's still been missing for about 3 weeks at this point. What do you think are the future steps?
They got to keep doing what they're doing. They have to, like I said, you need to look a little deeper into the family if they haven't already done that. His mother reported him missing. I know he's got domestic violence in his background. He was violent against his children, if I read that correctly. They got to show up somewhere. Like I said, the money's got to run out at some point. Now, when that does, who knows where that is going to be in North Dakota? Is it going to be in Texas? You were right about that too. They can go anywhere they want, especially if she's not being held against her will. If she voluntarily goes, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find them and I think it's when the money train runs out, I think is when you're going to see them pop up.
And hopefully that's soon, that the money trail would run out. Hopefully no medical issues either. As you said, she is pregnant. Just a lot happening in this case. One will continue to follow, though, and see where it heads or what new developments there are. Will Spielar, thank you for coming on with us and walking us through it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
All right. Okay. Let's see. So let's go over here. Put together a little bitty. Let's see. Okay. Put that over here. Okay, so everything we know about Gary F. Day so far, and this was put together is the 21st, but I still can't find anything. He's a registered sex offender. He was wearing an ankle monitor, but he removed it himself. He has a child endangerment charge against him after his 4-month-old son was brought to the ER with a broken leg and several other injuries. He is known to change his license plates. He has Arkansas license plate BBR20L, a Pennsylvania license plate KGW5186, and possibly more. I've also read, and this is just out there in the universe of Reddit and everywhere, that he was a collector of license plates. So that might be something interesting. I know, my daughter's dad, he used to collect license plate, and we had them from all over. He liked antique ones. But knowing that he's a collector of license plate, and I think he got him in his divorce. It was something I had read. So he drives a 2014 black, don't quote me on that. That's just something I read. So he drives a 2014 black Buick LaCrosse, and that his mother owns that car. He is the father of Sophia's unborn child. He's wanted for 1 count of kidnapping and 2 counts of child enticement. He has an active warrant in Arkansas for violating his parole for the child endangerment charge involving his son. Now, what we will do is we will see about that. So let's read this. Let's take Doggo off the screen because he's got a big head today. So this was back October 18th, 2019. Batesville, Arkansas. An independent county couple is in trouble with law after authorities said 4-month-old baby boy was taken to a hospital with a fractured left femur. Gary F. Day, 34, and Grace Catherine Ann Day, 19, which that's a trigger right there because I haven't even read this. So, hello, his wife was only 19 already, and he's 34. Oh, no. See, okay. Red flags everywhere, all over this man. Okay, hold up. Let me cough real quick. Got some reading to do here. Oh, that just kind of okay. 19. Grace Catherine Ann. Shame on you. And this was for a child. I mean, she's. Oh, Sheila, just keep reading. They were arrested on suspicion of endangering the welfare of a minor first degree after an investigation by the Independent County Sheriff's Department. Probable cause affidavit noted that the child was taken to the hospital September 15th for a lower extremity injury. From this visit, it was determined that the child was suffering from a fracture of the left femur. Along with this finding, the hospital noted bruises to the face of the child. White River Medical Center's report also lists the child as being at a severe sepsis risk from injuries. Oh, that just makes me just horrible parents. Damn. I mean, I'm going to drop this link in chat too, so it's in there showing where I got this information from. According to the court records, the parents said the child's leg became stuck in their kitchen sink while they gave the child a bath. The injury happened, they claim, when they freed the child's foot from the sink. The child was taken to the Arkansas Children's Hospital in Little Rock to be treated. A doctor there also told authorities more about the baby's injuries, the affidavit noted. The doctor said the child did suffer a fracture along with 4 separate injuries to the face and ears. Dr. Klingelmpeel's tongue twister word, report provides that there was no plausible explanation given for the child's injuries and lists the injuries as being consistent with blunt force trauma, which is consistent with child physical abuse, authorities said in the affidavit. The doctor also confirmed to investigators that the child did not display an injury to the lower left foot or ankle, which would have been consistent with the parents' initial story. So yeah, it didn't get caught in damn sink. Come on now. Yeah, we know better now. While inspecting the couple's home, the sergeant noted the kitchen had a common stainless steel sink with a fixed drain would prevent a child's foot from entering. See, it just gets better and better. A judge set a $50,000 bond for Gary F. Day and Grace Catherine Day, October 15th. So yeah, and he was convicted of that, and that's where the child endangerment charges come from. But how old was the child, did they say? She's 19. A 4-month-old baby. So she had to have been 18 maybe she was 19 when she got pregnant, but still it already, no. And now he's already on his next victim. Just makes me sick. Anyways, all right. Let's pop up the Amber Alert one more time and go over that. Again, Sophia Franklin, missing since February 2nd, 2025. Let's see. Let's share this tab. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Again, Sophia Franklin, missing since February 2nd, 2025 from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. 16, female, white, brown hair, blue eyes, 5'9", 186 pounds, 3 months pregnant. Vehicle is a Buick LaCrosse. It's a 2014 black. God only knows what license plate they got on this thing again. And just to get the suspect up here on the screen too, this is Gary Day, and this is issued in Wisconsin, part of the Amber Alert. This is who she is suspected to be with. He is a male, white race, blonde hair, green eyes, 5'7", 165 pounds, and Gary is known to be the father of the unborn child with Sophia. And knowing that he's already got a child out there that was in 2019, 3 months old, which would now be 5 years old, and has a divorce from this poor woman. I hate to even think about it. Anyways. All right, guys. It's been fun. I'm going to just cut this one short. Again, if you see something, say something. As always, you can call 911, or the Beaver Dam Police Department is at 888-304-3936. if you have any information on Sophia Franklin. They are looking for you, Sophia. So if you see this for some reason and you're out there, contact Mama. Mamas always care. They're always there to listen. Anyways, this mama's tired. Rub her out. Thank y'all for joining me. Hit the like if you had fun. If you didn't, hit the dislike. Let me know. I'll know this is all new to me and I just enjoy it. So, hey, it is what it is. Y'all have a great night. Bye.
Life's a